Welcome to the Magic Power Podcast with Sarah Jasmin Cartsburg, where you get all the keys you need to awaken your spirit and soul, discover your life's purpose, and learn how to use the incredible power of your mind. To download your free and awesome bonuses, go to magicpowerpodcast.com/free. And now, your host, Sarah Jasmin Cartsburg.
This episode contains some adult language. If you are around children right now, then please put on your headphones now. Welcome back to a new episode of the Magic Power Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Jasmin Cartsburg, and today I have a confession to make. I'm absolutely addicted to being high. Well, if you thought now that means I'm taking recreational drugs all day, that's not what I'm talking about. But you could have been right in the point that taking recreational drugs like LSD, DMT, magic mushroom produce the same brain patterns than being in highly meditative states of mind. How do we know this? Well, there have been tons of studies done with monks from the Dalai Lama who have been meditating for 10,000s of hours, meaning they are really experienced meditators. And what happens if you measure their brain activity? Their brains show the same patterns than the brains of people who are on psychedelic drugs. Isn't that interesting? That these are two ways to reach the same state of consciousness? By the way, I really recommend that you do not take any drugs to reach these states of consciousness. I'd rather want you to start meditating and to use the techniques I'm teaching you to help you reach these states so quickly that you won't ever need or want any drugs. But let's go back to my addiction. Even though being addicted to meditating doesn't sound like it's something bad, it can be. Because after the birth of my first son, I suddenly didn't have the time to meditate anymore. But since I was addicted to being high and to reaching these other states of consciousness, these expanded, extraordinary states of consciousness, and these extremely intense states of happiness, I was desperate. Because to be happy, I relied on meditating on a daily basis. I'm so used to entering other worlds of consciousness every day that I really need this to happen in my life in order to feel happy, in order to feel fulfilled. That was the time when I got into brainwave entrainment, and I also learned about the theta wave brainwave entrainment that helps you by using the technology of binaural beats to get into deep states of meditation way more quickly. I have done a whole episode about brainwave entrainment if you want to go deeper into this topic, and I'll link to it in the show notes. What happens in the brain during meditation, and that also happens when you take psychoactive drugs, is that your pineal gland releases dimethyltryptamine, also known as DMT, also known as the molecule of consciousness. There has been a huge official study done giving people DMT and then testing what happens to their brain and what states of consciousness these people would reach. So DMT allows you to enter the in-between state between this physical world, the world that we live in, that you see with your eyes and with your senses in everyday life, and the other worlds, the invisible worlds, the worlds that only people can perceive who are experienced meditators or who are, for some reason, have a connection with the spirit world. Also, DMT is being released naturally by your brain every night when you dream. And if you ever had any kind of crazy dream, you know what's possible when your brain releases DMT. What's interesting is that dreams seem very, very real. And that's because the pineal gland actually has a similar structure than your eye. That's why a lot of spiritual people also call the pineal gland the third eye. It's because it enables you to see and perceive and to interact with the invisible worlds. It also enables you to connect on a very, very deep level with your intuition and with your own inner guidance and with your spirit guides. So, learning how to activate your pineal gland so that it releases more DMT is absolutely crucial if you ever want to have spiritual experiences. And if you don't wish to have any spiritual experiences, then let me tell you a little more about why I'm so addicted to them. If I'm in these other states of mind, meaning I have a spiritual experience, I'm just extremely happy. I feel one with everything. I feel one with the entire universe. My mind expands and it becomes huge. It's like as everything was suddenly inside of me instead of outside of me, because my mind and my perception, my consciousness have become so huge. It also allows me to find all the answers I'm looking for, because I suddenly understand how to connect the dots and how it all fits together in the big puzzle. And it allows me to find all the answers without needing to ask other people. It allows me to find my own answers and my own truth. When I had this state of mind of being as gigantically huge for the very first time, that was when I was being in India and living in a monastery and fasting for a week and meditating all day. I truly believed I had reached nirvana, the ultimate state of consciousness. I later figured out that there are even higher states of consciousness and even more advanced states of expanding your mind. But even just getting a glimpse of it, it can change the entire course of your life, because it allows you to see everything from such a different perspective that is just magical. So ever since I heard about the pineal gland being the responsible gland for producing these states of mind that have made me so addicted, not in a bad way, but in a good way, because they are just so amazing. And I truly wish that every human being would experience these states of mind, because it would make life on earth so much more beautiful if we all knew our true inner power and we all knew who we are and how big our minds actually are, and that we are so much more than the human body. That's, by the way, one of the reasons why I'm creating this podcast for you, because I really believe that we can make the world a beautiful, beautiful place from the inside out if we work on evolving our own consciousness. So ever since I heard about the pineal gland being responsible for these extraordinary states of mind, I've been obsessed with the pineal gland and its powers and how it influences your life. There are a few basic facts that you have to know in order to allow your pineal gland to function. One of them is you have to decalcify your pineal gland, because if there's too much calcium in your pineal gland, it can't function properly anymore. So an easy way to start decalcifying your pineal gland is to start drinking a glass with warm water every day with half a lemon. So you press a fresh lemon into a glass with warm water and you drink it every morning. It could also help if you drink a few more glasses during the day, but the one in the morning is the one that's very essential. And the other thing that's very important for your pineal gland to be able to be activated at all, even before you start to meditate, is you have to eat the right foods. Because only if you eat foods that contain tryptophan, you can produce enough serotonin. And your body needs serotonin to be able to produce DMT in your pineal gland. So there is a big problem here that you have to be aware of. Cooking your food destroys the tryptophan. That's why it's so essential to eat enough raw foods that contain tryptophan. This is not only important if you want to activate your pineal gland and produce DMT. This is also important if you feel depressed, because depression usually comes from not producing enough serotonin. Let me just give you a few examples of foods that are very high in tryptophan. There are many more foods and you can find them with a simple Google search. So, banana contains lots of tryptophan. Raw oats, you have to be careful there because most oats that you buy, even if they look raw, they have actually been heated during the process of grinding them. So make sure you get truly raw oats or grind them yourself. Sweet potatoes, whole grains like brown rice, quinoa, and others, seeds and nuts, raw dairy products, the superfood spirulina, and all kinds of beans and legumes. So I hope that with the episode today, I got you really excited about activating your pineal gland, helping it to produce DMT naturally, and to get a natural high that will make you so much more happy and will help you understand everything that you have questioned about your life. To start experiencing states of mind where your brain produces natural DMT, please go to magicpowerpodcast.com/free and download one of my free and absolutely awesome theta meditations. They use beautiful binaural beat music and special guided meditations by me that help you get into these extraordinary states of mind and help you activate your pineal gland and to produce DMT naturally. I hope you have a truly magical and wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Thank you for tuning in to the Magic Power Podcast. If you loved this episode, please share it with your friends and subscribe to her show now on magicpowerpodcast.com.